another story, Lee, and the soft side of Lee Duffy. This was, he said, when I was in Liverpool, he said, I was working myself and being clever and that, anyway, a load of screws jumped him and they kicked fuck all and they really went to town. Them, the old army boots on, stand all over him, battered him. They threatened to hit a screw in there. I think there's like 600 prison officers were there and they beat the shit out. He said, what I done? He said, what do you think I done? He said, I crawled up in the ball and just cried like a baby. He said, I was in that much pain. I was just thinking about my mum and my family and my daughters and things like that. He said, so he just thought, I wish I was back with my family and mum, because he had the best writing I've ever seen. You'd think he was like William Shakespeare's writing. We got some off his partner, Carol Edwards, who had 2 children to him, and he was thinking about them at the time. Wish he was back home with his family and that, so it's sad, isn't it? Yeah, that just the other soft side of Lee, you know, just thinking of his family. But he was a brilliant drawer as well. He used to draw things and send Carol stuff all the time, and little letters and love letters and all the stuff, and drawings. And he was just so
Peter.
Little Peter, yeah, his little stepson Peter. But he called him Duffy, they called him Peter Duffy anyway. He said, "You're my son." That's what he used to say to him all the time. A lovely family they have. We got to know them, and they're our family now, aren't they?
Yeah, and he did a little certificate for Peter, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a little certificate for his son.
Which is in the book.
It's in the book as well, the attachment of Teesside. Yeah, and it's great doing that book because we wanted to do the nice side of Lee Duffy, and like these stories I'm telling you, it's not the gruesome, horrible stories what you're hearing about. It's the funny ones, like with the shop when he's like, oh, and he's run out the house, and there's other ones where we've had laughs and they're just funny. There's ones where they're all smoking carrots in the car and I'm off my head going for sweets. There's loads and loads of stories. We'll leave somebody going, oh, you only know him 4 months. Well, you might know somebody. You've only been taught me a couple of minutes saying, look at the stories I've told you already. Yeah. So if you're with somebody for 14 weeks I was with him, and I knew of him for over 2 years, and he used to tell me stories like the pub ones or like the ones in the prison that I've just told you.
And the difference is you weren't just used as a driver for him. You were with him like properly, and you had total respect for each other.
We teamed up as partners, and he'd be here now telling the stories about me if I had a passport. God rest his soul.
Like Carol said, a day.
Well, Lee Duffy was like a year. Yeah. Like you do more than a day with Lee. Same as myself, do more than a day with us, our type of lifestyle. One person might see something like, I'll be responsible to arrest someone in the street and we'll go on about it for the rest of their life. That's the only thing I've ever seen.
And I think that Lee, you were one of the only people around Lee that he didn't just use for lifts and that. No. It was like mutual respect, so he's obviously going to confide in you a lot more. He used to come for us, he said, I'll come in the morning. He was like a little kid sometimes because he got jealous when I nicked off for someone. That's another
story I'll tell you about. But he was, that Carol said that's exactly what he was like, Brian. He was like that. He was dead possessive. He wanted you for himself, and he comforted us because he used to get up. We'd been in jail a lot of his life. He'd be up in the morning, up at 6 in the morning in jail. So he used to get up and he'd be coming around. We'd knock on the door at 8:30, 9 o'clock, we'd move. So we'd go and jump in the car, we'd go up to South Bank and that, and we go to the pool hall and have a meal in there and everything. But there's loads of stories for me and Lee. There's loads. In that time, probably the longest I was away from him was about 3 days. Yeah. And then he went to jail for a couple of weeks, but as well.
And that's probably why you did everything alone after that, because he was probably the best taxi partner you could have.
Well, all the others were just people who worked for me after that. Me and Lee split everything down the middle. Everyone else we worked with, we used to get the lion's share. We used to bring people in if they might need 4 or 5 people doing tax. And there's loads of millions of stories. There's not millions, but there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories. Probably a year's worth of stories. So you're going to be with us for a year doing this. I'm going to make sure it lasts. Okay.